Growegy's Calendar tab under your Planning feature is here to keep you on task with all of your business projects, including your marketing campaigns. You can track all of the different moving parts of your projects, and your whole team will be able to see exactly where you are and what needs to still be accomplished. It also has our integrated AI within it to help you fill out your different tasks, look up best topics for blog posts, or best practices, all from your calendar. Now, we also have an unscheduled section where you can store all of those ideas for your company. And under that unscheduled section, you can also save templates. So if you're going to have the same task that repeats as you move forward with your business, you don't have to recreate that from scratch. You can use a customized template in its place, so that way everything that you have to do for that particular program is already set out for you. I'll be providing you with an overview of our calendar so you can see for yourself how it functions, how you might use it for your specific business, and how to use some of those different tools. Once you're in that planning feature, make sure you're in the calendar tab, and then within your calendar, you do have all of your tools in here for your view. You can have a quarter view. I personally like the month view. You also have your week or simply your day. Everything's listed out here for you. And then you can toggle between your months by clicking on these arrows, or you can click on the circle for today's date. Over to the right, we do have this grouping tool here. This allows you to either group by campaign or to take your grouping off altogether. Up here, if you have grouping by campaign, you're going to see these campaign bubbles. These are your bigger pictures and projects. They're a placeholder saying we're going to start this project on this date and we're going to end it on this date. You can see this top one is red. That line runs through all the way through the month of October. It continues over here in November, and then it does end here on December 31st. If I remove my grouping and say no grouping, then it's just going to show me all my tasks and due dates in the calendar as they're due. We also have a filter here to help you find specific items. In the filter, we do have 3 sections for you to fill out. The first one is going to be the category we're searching for. Keep in mind that name is going to be the name of the calendar entry. Owner is going to be the person responsible for the project. You assign out your owners, so if you're looking for something owned by you, you would search by owner. If you're looking for something specific by the name of the calendar entry, we can go ahead and say contains, doesn't contain, is not, is empty, is not empty. For this one, we're going to enter in Keurig. So name contains Keurig. I can apply that filter, and now I'm only going to see the items in my calendar that have to do with this Keurig tree. This will then pull up all of the tasks that are assigned to this particular program for me, so I can just be focused on this one. Now, grouping works in a similar way. If we group it by campaign, I can hit the drop down for this campaign, and then I'm only going to see the items for that specific campaign. So it's going to show me all the programs assigned to this campaign. If I open up this campaign, you're going to see that it has 4 programs attached to it down here. These are all the moving parts that I need to complete in order for this campaign to be successful. If I hit the drop down right there, it's going to show me my task list for that specific program. Over here, we have our Unscheduled tool. This is a great place to put your ideas for your company and to save your templates. There is a tutorial specifically on templates that walks you through each of the steps on how to create those templates. So please feel free to visit our resource center and watch that tutorial to help you set those up. You can also ask your account manager for assistance with setting up your first couple of templates. To get started and add in an idea, all you have to do is click on the gray plus sign, fill out your program card, and start adding in your tasks from this task list, and then you can go ahead and click Add Program. As long as you keep the dates section here as unscheduled, it's going to save over here in the unscheduled section, so you can come in and schedule it whenever you're ready. Same thing with the templates. Once you have them saved, you can see this is for an Instagram reel. I have all of my to-dos listed out here. The next thing I'm going to do is make a copy, and then I'm going to start scheduling this. So I'll look for the one for Instagram in here. And then over here, I'm just going to delete the copy section. and fill out the rest of the sections here and add in my due dates. Then I can click Add Program and it'll get added to the calendar without me having to recreate the whole thing. Over here, we have your View tool. This is to make your life a little bit easier and be able to get information directly from your calendar without having to open up a program. For this top part, it's going to show the assignee. This should automatically be on for you, and this will make the name of the person responsible for each task show up underneath those specific tasks in the calendar. If you'd like to turn that off, you'll just slide that toggle over and it disappears. Then for the next section here, you get to select up to 3 fields to show directly on your calendar. For this one, let's choose actual leads, budget, and let's go ahead and put the end date on there as well. So here we have actual leads, our budget, and the date that this program is ending. Keep in mind that you can only select up to 3 fields to show directly on here, but if you did want additional information, you can just click into the program card to find it. The other tool we have easily available to you is going to be this AI tool here. You can use this AI before you go into your entries, but if you did want to create a new entry and you wanted to use AI to help you fill in your tasks, you can open up AI directly from here. Our AI that's integrated within our calendar tool does allow you to schedule appointments on the calendar. This is a great tool to use if you have recurring appointments, and you can see we have a couple of examples of that here. Now you can actually use these examples if you would like to schedule these items on your calendar just by clicking that blue paper airplane. Once you click the blue paper airplane, it automatically sends that prompt off for you. And you'll see it says working on it here. I can minimize this while it's working and continue on with my tasks, or I can open it back up when I'm ready to use the information. So one thing that I like to use this for is when I'm creating content. Maybe I need blog post idea. So I'm going to ask it to create 5 blog post ideas for my website. Or you can use the different variables you have saved under the personalization tab for Growegy AI, and you can do that by using a bracket here. So I'm going to use a bracket and I'm going to type in product. We're going to say contact lenses, and then I'm going to say target, and we're going to use another bracket. I'm going to type in audience, and I'm going to choose an audience. Now I'm going to go ahead and send that off, and it's going to come back with my ideas for blog posts. And then I can say blog post 1, and I can simply copy this over and paste it into here. So now I've got my first blog post, and I can repeat that for the second, third, fourth, and fifth one as well. Now this will automatically save here for me. So if I click on this arrow here, you're going to see that's the first one here. I can actually rename it. We're going to say website blog posts for contact lens users. And there we go. Now it's going to be easy for me to find next time. When I click back into it, it does have some options here and some ideas for what you can get started with. And if you don't want to write the content yourself, we can say write a blog post for number 1. It'll work on it, it'll write the post for you, and then you can go through and make edits. And there we have it. There's your blog post for number 1. Up here we have a yellow plus sign. Under the yellow plus sign, when you click on it, you have the option to add in a program or a campaign. Campaigns are your bigger pictures and projects. They're that placeholder to let you know that we're working on this project from this start date until this end date. It's there to help you stay organized and understand what plans you have for your company throughout the year. Programs are typically attached to campaigns. A campaign can have a single program attached to it, or it might have many. It depends on the moving parts and how you would like to organize it. Now, programs contain your task lists, and that's where you can assign out individual tasks to people within your organization. Now, to get started, I typically will start with a campaign. You can click up here. If you're not sure what the differences are, between a program and a campaign because you've forgotten, you can hover over that I right there to the right. It'll give you a tip. To create a campaign, you're going to click on the yellow plus sign and choose campaign. From here, you're going to choose a color to represent it in your calendar. That color is going to represent the text bubble that you'll see for your project and the line that runs through until that project is over. So we'll go back into our campaign. We'll choose a color to represent it. Let's go ahead and go with this purple one here. Down here for the campaign name, let's call this website blog. The next section is going to be the status. Again, you have all these options here for your status. Then you're going to assign an owner for this. This is going to be the person responsible for moving the campaign forward. They're going to keep track of all the moving parts and check in with the different teams. If it's just you, it's just a way to keep yourself accountable and make sure that you get all of the notifications. You can go ahead and assign yourself as the owner. For the dates, we'll go ahead and start this today, and let's just run this through the next 2 weeks. Over here for leads, I want you to remember leads equate to sales. You're going to set your sales goal over here to the right. And then as you make those actual sales, you'll add this number in here. Now this is going to be your overall goal. You might have a campaign where you're doing a cold call outreach to clients, and that campaign might have several programs for different areas that you're reaching out to, or maybe for different people who are performing the cold calls. They'll each have their own program with their own set of goals, but their sales goal or their leads goal here should add up and equal to this amount. You can track those individual leads as you make them over here. This will be your actual number. This does get represented within analytics. Over here for your budget, if you do have a budget, this again will be your overall budget for all of the programs attached to this campaign. If whatever you're doing is free, then you can leave this as 0. You can always update your budgets later if you need to. We also have this section here to add in custom fields. Maybe we want to put in a target area, or maybe we want to put in the cold caller's name. We can add that information in. Now for this particular one, because we're doing a website blog, I don't really need any of these additional fields. I'm just going to go ahead and delete those. Down here for description, I typically will write a short description of what we're doing. I might even add in links for my drive or my cloud. This will give them access regardless of where they are, as long as they can log into their account at growegy.com. Down here, it's going to list out all the programs that you've attached to this particular campaign. We haven't done that part yet, so right now it's blank. And at the very bottom, you do have the option to add in attachments. If you have a script, you can add that in here. If you have marketing materials that you're going to be using, you can go ahead and attach that as well. So you have instant access to it without having to go look for it. Once that's completed, you're going to click Add Campaign. And you'll see that'll add in on today's date. We have to go over to this month, and here's our website blog. Now again, this is just a placeholder. If we hit that drop down arrow, nothing really happens because we haven't added a program to it yet. So to start a program, we're going to go back up to the yellow plus sign, and we're going to choose New Program. For the program type up here, we do have these program types entered in. You have some generic types already entered into your system like website, webinar, event, and templates. To add in some custom program types, you're going to click into Settings and Program Types, and you can name out your types there. We do have a tutorial specifically on program types that I recommend watching before you customize that section so you get a better understanding of what items are impacted within Growegy based off of your program types and how you name them. For this one, we'll go ahead and choose Website. Down here, we'll assign it a name so we know exactly which part of the process this is. This is going to be the launch of our website blog, so I'm going to go ahead and say Launch Blog. Down here, I'm going to set again a status. I can assign an owner of this specific program. So if you have multiple programs, but you have different people who are going to be responsible, you can assign different owners for each section of that. So for this one, we'll go ahead and stick with Lucy Smith. I'm going to add a campaign in. So I'm going to go ahead and start typing in here, and it'll find the one I'm looking for. For the dates, we're going to go ahead and mirror the dates in the campaign for this specific program. So we're going to start today. And for our end date, I'm going to go ahead and move this out for 4 weeks to give us plenty of time to start those blog posts. Down here for leads, we're not tracking sales for this one, so we can skip this part. Same thing with budget. This isn't going to cost us anything to do, but if you do have a website designer creating the page on your website that you've hired or any other costs, you can go ahead and add that budget in here. We're going to leave vendor blank. We can add additional fields, but for this particular one, I don't think that's necessary. Down here, we do have our description, create and launch blog on website. So that's going to be our description for this one. Down here for the tasks, I'm going to start building out the task list. So the first thing we're going to do is create blog page on website. The next thing we're going to do is create blog posting schedule. So that way we have a schedule of when we're going to post, how often, and maybe even some of the topics outlined. For the next section, we're going to draft the first blog. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and open up that AI tool. And I'm going to take that title for the first blog and I'm going to copy and paste it in just like that. Now for here, we're going to finalize and post first blog. And then we're going to add another one. So draft blog 2. And then again, I can just copy and paste from here. And I can minimize this if I don't want to see it while I'm typing these out. So I can do that and then minimize this down here. We're going to go ahead and add another task. We're going to finalize and post blog 2. So we'll say second. And then we can go on from there. So for these first ones, I'm going to go ahead and start setting due dates for each one. We'll do this one today. This one we can do by tomorrow. We'll draft that first blog post on Thursday, and then by Friday we want to do our first post. After that, it's really easy to set up a posting schedule where we draft the blogs on Mondays, and then we finalize and post on Fridays. Now over here in the assignee section, if you've invited others into your program, you can hit that drop down and it'll show you all the assignees you've invited in. You can assign each item out to a different person if you'd like. If it's just you and your company, as long as you are listed as the owner up here, you're going to get all the notifications for your tasks. So if you are the only person in your organization, you don't have to assign these out individually. You'll automatically get all of the notifications as long as you assign yourself as the owner. For this one, we'll go ahead and choose assignees here. I'm going to go ahead and just add in a couple randomly. Maybe different people are going to be working on the blog. It doesn't always have to be the same person. And then I can go ahead and click Add Program. Now, if I had additional content I wanted to add in here, I can click Attach New. If I had a template for those blog posts that I wanted everybody to use, I can attach that here so they have access to it when they start writing their blog. I'm going to go ahead and click Add Program. And here it is right underneath Website Blog. So when you first click into it, you do have to hit that drop down and it shows right up for you. Now when you've completed an item, you can click into it, click the check mark. It does a strike through here in the calendar entry. And when you save that, it does a strike through on your calendar as well. This will make it really easy for you and your team to identify what's been completed and what's still being worked on. Now you can see some of the different campaigns that we have set up. You can see here, this is an operations campaign, the one we just set up for the website blog. We have another one here for a promotion running on Instagram. We have a website design and launch, client maps for client interest forms received off of a website, a new book launch for an Amazon book that's being published, and even an Amazon product here. If I move to a different date, you can see I also have my cold call outreach set up for my real estate clients. If I click into these, you can see that everything's set up here with my target areas, my leads list, and then I also have each of my programs that are sorted out by the target area. If I click into one of these, you can see I have all my tasks for the month set up directly into here. These are utilizing smart due dates. These smart due dates are a great way to set up a template and automatically generate all of your due dates so you never miss a task again. We do have a tutorial specifically on smart due dates, And you can find that by clicking into the Help section over here in the Feature panel. We do have a link directly to our tutorials, and we list out our support desk here in case you forget who to contact. You can also reach out directly to your account manager for assistance, and during your one-on-one calls, you can ask for a demonstration or you can ask for help in setting up your first couple of tasks. If you have any questions at any time, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help you.